Lavanya. I'm an endocrinologist. I also have a special interest in the public issues, especially now the coronavirus. I have been asked by Times Now reporters in the best interest of the viewers as a good citizen of India and also as a medical expert. I would like to furnish my opinion on three questions which have been posed from Times Now. One, corona test should be subsidized at a private hospital. Should they be subsidized or not? So basically I want to update a little bit on coronavirus, which has been declared by United Nations agency as a pandemic. COVID-19, there are 1,68,000 cases worldwide right now and 6,600 deaths from corona. ICMR on Tuesday actually released a government order accrediting the private labs to be able to test for coronavirus other than the government hospitals also. So the number of testing will increase from institutions which are labeled as 52 government institutions to 125 private organizations to be able to test coronavirus. Right now in India we have only 134 recorded cases. Out of them 99% have been acquired to India from travel contacts. It is not a community spread. So it's coming all from travelers who are coming to India. So government has really arrested the cases by actually putting a no to all the foreign visitors and including the Indian nationals coming from all those 7 high-risk countries and quarantining for 14 days all the other Indian nationals coming from the 4 Middle Eastern countries. So with this we are actually stopping the spread of coronavirus really well. But are we testing enough? That is my point. Are we testing our patients enough? Is that the reason why we have a very low incidence of coronavirus here in India? Because we don't have the testing facilities, especially because the tests are costly, people can't afford, and the tests are not available at at a regular private lab like Vijay Diagnostic or Lucid or Focus or any other metropolitan health lab or any small clinic, a private clinic. Are the tests available is the point. So that is why the ICMR on Tuesday has allowed all the accredited labs to be able to test COVID-19. ICMR is providing the control for the test and allowing all the qualified doctors to be able to prescribe tests could be done at any of the private institutions. Now the ICMR is asking the private institutions to do the test free of cost. Now, how can the private labs do testing free of cost and procure their own test kits and controls and the testing parameters? Although the ICMR is providing the control of the patient, but unable to provide the kits. So, in my view, as a medical doctor, in order to be able to test the patients more, to screen the number of corona cases so we can provide treatment and control the disease process, we should be able to get some subsidy on the private labs on the test kits. If we don't have a subsidy, free testing by private organizations can't be sustained for too long, and it can't be practically be done at the country as a worldwide process. Second question I've been asked is, at a time like this, do you believe that government gives subsidy to hospitals? ICMR has also put in, the Union Health Ministry has set a process for notifying COVID-19, saying that this can be isolated. The testing can be done at private organizations, and also the patients can be put into patient isolation wards at a private hospital. And also the Union Health Ministry has actually released a guideline for dispensing the dead bodies who are affected with COVID-19. Today we have recorded total 3 death cases from coronavirus. Most of them have been older patients. Luckily, we don't have much of a high death rate. Thankful to our immunity and our, the corona survival in our country with these hot climatic conditions, or maybe less personal touch methods of social greeting that we have in our country. We are very glad that the death cases are not that high. But there are also guidelines for dispensing the bodies and dispensing the test kits and the samples of corona affected patients. And also there are, now we have a notification from the Union Health Ministry to isolate these patients and to be able to take care of them in private organizations also. So this increases the number of hospitals to be able to take care of corona from 51 to 125, which is a good thing. But again, the private hospitals should be able to get some subsidy from the government in order to provide good care for general public who are being affected with corona, to be able to test for these COVID-19 cases in general, to stop the community spread. The third question I have is, though precautions have been taken, the Shaheen Bagh protests haven't been called off. What do you think about this from the corona point of view? Shaheen Bagh protest is a social protest against some a point that people want to make through protest, through meeting. So we are trying to prevent meeting here because we want to prevent corona spread. Coronavirus spread happens within the 6 feet distance through droplet. So it is important that we keep our hands clean with soap and water hand wash, and have a nose, a face mask which will protect the nose and the mouth droplets to spread from a person to person. So we should not touch our face and touch another person's hands with the same fingers in order to stop the spread. So how would you stop the spread? By stopping the meetings, by stopping the large meetings. At least people should not meet more than 20 or 30 people in one crowd. Should not happen, and this is to prevent the spread of the virus. See, there is something called doubling time of the spread of the virus. Doubling time is the number of cases have been gone from 10 to 20 in that period of time. So we have to arrest the doubling time. India is really slow on the doubling time, as well as China, Korea and Japan have really arrested their doubling time. Hong Kong is doing really well. The doubling time in this case could be a month or a few weeks. So that is the reason why we are not having the spread of this coronavirus, by increasing the doubling time, by preventing the spread through person-to-person contact, by preventing the human contact, which is to restrict meetings of all sorts. Protests, meetings, any unnecessary gathering of people should be prevented, and this should be done through government measures. The government of India and the state government should in combination should be able to arrest the viral spread in the community, because we don't want a fast spread. If we don't have a fast spread, we'll be able to act on developing the vaccine for the virus, in developing the treatments for the virus, in containing the virus. It will give less medical burden on the healthcare system. If we have more time to deal with the cases and quarantine the people and prevent the spread, we will be able to achieve the end point here, which is not to have a disastrous incidence of death cases from coronavirus in a very highly densely populated country like India. It will be a disaster if the virus starts to spread, and the only reason we can stop spreading the virus is by restricting the human meetings. With that, I would also like to thank the government of India and people of our country, because World Health Organization has given us, they have really praised us on India doing a great job on stopping the spread of the virus through various measures that we are taking, maybe to curb the international borders. When we can curb the international borders and not let our Indian nationals come back home, in order to not spread the virus, and quarantine these people in a regular place like a stadium or like a community hall, to stay there for 14 days and not coming to their homes, in order to quarantine from these high risk areas. This is a sacrifice by the people, to understand and to be cooperative with the rest of our healthy Indians in order to not spread the virus. Is such a great thing by the government, by the people of India, by the doctors who are taking care, by the lab testing kits and the researchers. India is the 5th country to isolate coronavirus so far, and India is also one of the leading countries to prepare the medications for the virus. We have now come up with Indian Institute of Chemicals and Technology, who are working in the phase 1, 2 and 3 clinical trials. In 3 months we will be out with 3 drugs which will be probably good for coronavirus treatment, and they are Favipiravir, Baloxavir and Remdesivir, and 2 of them are going to be prepared in the generic form by Cipla Pharmaceuticals in order to be given to our people, if as they will be good for treatment of coronavirus. If we are lucky enough, ICMR will come up with the first vaccine in the world from India to be able to prevent the spread of coronavirus. With that, I'll end my answers. Thank you, viewers.